Lisa came to New York one day and she said, Dad, I'm pregnant, and my wife and I were very elated at that news. We were down there at the time of the birth because it was my daughter's firstborn, and there's always, as a father, there's always an affinity for a daughter's firstborn.
When Matthew was born, he was taking an enormous amount of formula, more so than what a normal newborn would take. And when we brought him into his first doctor's visit, the doctor was surprised about how much he was taking in, and he was losing weight. What I didn't know behind the scenes was my parents had called the doctor.
When my wife called up the physician, he said, you grandparents are just worrywarts all the time. I mean, he had never had a case of a child with cystic fibrosis, and yet he had been a pediatrician for years.
Matthew was sent for a sweat test, which measures the chloride in his sweat, and it came back positive. I remember receiving a phone call from the doctor, come meet with me, and I didn't know what to expect when I walked in, and I wasn't really sure what CF was. I think all I remember hearing was life expectancy in their 20s.
Personally, I'd never heard of it. And back in those days, you didn't have the internet, so you really couldn't do nearly as much research. So we really didn't know what it meant. But when we started hearing more and more about it, we kind of almost in a state of shock. Because when you hear that your child has CF, that is not something any parent ever wants to hear.
As long as I remember, CF has been a part of my life. I would have to wake up around 5 a.m. each morning to take my medicine, get ready, as well as do my nebulizer treatments, and put on my percussion vest for 20 minutes daily. I knew it was different than the average person who didn't take as many pills or do any nebulizer treatments, but I did what I had to survive as well as thrive. I knew at age 14, when I was admitted to the hospital with a ruptured bowel, that this disease wasn't going away anytime soon.
He had something called a mucus plug, which ruptured his bowels. The doctor came and told us, I do not know if he's going to make it through the night. So, of course, we were afraid, terrified. We didn't even know what that meant. We were scared.
When you see your son come out of a 7-hour surgery and go into the ICU for days, unable to breathe on his own, using a ventilator, that is a shock. And it's hard to comprehend when a doctor tells you, we're not sure if your child is going to make it.
It just became so overwhelming for him, for us, something that we had never experienced before with the disease. And as a parent, it was just difficult to watch, and no one should ever have to go through this.
Cystic Fibrosis Foundation spends more than 90% of the money that's raised on helping people. I mean, this is money that is spent on trying to find a cure. When Matthew was born, I mean, it was almost like a death sentence.
So the foundation offers a source of comfort, people that understand what it is we're going through. They have a whole team now of people that help patients with just understanding their health care. They are now funding a research lab in Boston, and they're doing amazing things. The new motto, I would say, at the foundation is until it's done. They are looking out for everyone. It's not just, okay, we're going to settle for 90–95% of the people. They're looking for 100%. And I think with everything that the foundation does, that the investment that they're putting in, there will be a big payoff. And I think that with everyone's help investing in CF, that you will see great things happening.
This is a disease which has numerous mutations. Then you have 5 to 10% what they call nonsense mutations. And these people have no help. My grandson, who is in that category, there is no drug for him to take. We need money for a cure.
These funds coming in will be a direct benefit of him, and it will prove that all his hard work has paid off. He's very diligent with his treatments. He's on top of his treatments. He's on top of his medicine. He does everything that he needs to do. Now it's up to us to raise the money so he can continue doing well.
With the median age of CF life expectancy as 37 years old, I have been given approximately 11 years left to live. What's in it for me is a future where I can live to 75 years old. It will allow me to do things like get married, have children, see all 7 continents, climb Mount Everest. The options are endless. Each and every day we are getting closer and closer to a cure, and you're not just investing in myself, you're investing in thousands of other CF patients as well as their friends and family. So please donate and help make CF stand for Cure Found.